Huh?
Well, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make this video because I've been getting a lot of messages on whether to go with G30-660 or the 770. So it just really depends on what you want. Let me put this thing away. Nope, it's in gear. Why I make this video is because I've had a lot of people messaging me, not a lot of people, but a handful of people messaging me whether to go with the G30-660 or the 770. So I was on the fence on it for a while. I actually had this one boxed up and I was going to ship it back to GIF HQ to change it for a 770. But it really just depends on what your overall goal is. Like I said, I wanted 500 horsepower on this car. If you want 500 horsepower, that's with E85. Now, if you have 93 or in other states 91, you're going to make low 400s on this turbo. To get it to around the 500 horsepower mark, you're going to have to go E85, from what I've seen anyways. If you want to make more than 500 horsepower on E85, I would go with 770. If you want to do, so with the 770 on E85, you're looking probably between 550 to 600 is what I'm guessing that turbo can do. I think that's more than what I wanted to do, so that's why I stuck with 660. Now, if you want to stay on pump gas, 93 or 91, and you're shooting for 450 horsepower to the wheels, I would go with 770. I make full boost on this car probably 3,700, 3,800 RPM. I'm guessing with a 770, it'd probably be 200 or 300 more RPM from that number. So I'm making roughly 21 pounds of boost on E85. On a 93, I think it made like 408 at 93, but that was on 17-ish pounds of boost. Now there's probably more room to grow there, but I was going to be mainly running E85 in this car. So for the rear housings too, I went with a 0.83 rear housing. I know there's a few different options, and from what information I've gathered, the 0.83 is the best rear housing to go with for the 660. Don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's kind of what I've heard. Because it doesn't give it, I think if you go a different size, it creates back pressure, and which is not good. Don't quote me on that though. So to sum this up, G30-660, if you're shooting for 500 horsepower E85, go with that. Quick spool, it's you'll get full boost around 3,800 RPM. If you want to go more than 500 horsepower on E85, probably around 550 to 600, you can probably do the 770. You probably should do the 770. It'll kind of give you that range for, it'll give you that range better if you do the 770, 550 to 600 horsepower roughly on E85. So on pump gas, if you're looking for 450 horsepower roughly, I've seen the 770s doing that on pump gas. Around 20 pounds of boost is what it seems like, maybe a little lower. If you want to do 660, looking at low 400s if you're going to stay on 93. If you're going to 85, you'll get around 500 horsepower pretty easily. That's dependent on stock cams, or if you're on aftermarket cams. I'm on BC 264s, and the RPM's set at like 7,400, 7,500 roughly. So if there's anything else on this car that you guys want to learn or want to see, let me know. I can make more of these videos. It is wintertime here, as I'm sure you can see from my breath. So there's not going to be much content. I am going to drop the rear subframe sometime this winter, and I'm going to do solid diff bushings from 09. And also I will be replacing my power steering rack, because from my last video that I posted, either overextended or something, or I know, actually I just did some research too, and I guess I was supposed to run a different pulley on my hydraulic power steering pump, because I am running slightly higher RPM. I believe it's set to 7,400, 7,500. And I guess it needs some sort of reduction, so then it's not overpowering the hydraulic pump, which is probably what happened in this case. It just happened to go, at least it happened in my driveway and not while I was out driving. So I'm pretty happy about that. Want to see, let me know what you guys want to see on this car. Yeah, this channel will be more orientated towards this car probably. I am in search of a new daily, so whatever the car that will be, I might try and shoot some videos on that. But let me know what you guys want to see on this thing. I guess I haven't really done a whole lot other than wheels, tires, bigger turbo. The interior is fairly stock. There is a link can gauge in there for my parameters. That's wired into my link ECU. If you have any other questions related to this car, or if you're doing a similar build to this, more than happy to answer your questions. I know when I was building this, I reached out to other people for questions, and I'm willing to give you any advice or anything you need to know for that I know. I just mainly looked up a bunch of YouTube videos and asked around on how to build this thing, so I'm not super knowledgeable on them, but I know just enough from all the stuff I've done on it where I can tell you some tips and tricks. I also have other videos of when I was actually doing the build that was a little bit in depth, but not so much. But if you have any questions, either go back and watch those, or just let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram or even TikTok. I'll respond on there too. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later, and on to the next video. I don't know what that video is going to be, but yeah.